Borderlands 4 has definitely probably had the most controversial launch of 2025. And if you haven't heard, there's actually been some quite interesting news that's come out about Borderlands 4. It has actually won the award for the least optimized game for 2025. Let's give them a round of applause, guys. Let's give them a round of applause. It was a tough battle between Borderlands 4 and Metal Gear Solid Delta, the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, but considering the performance on the 5090 barely being able to hit 60 FPS at 4K, Borderlands 4 definitely takes the cake, but unfortunately there's much more to this story. There's also one thing people aren't really taking into consideration. Every single Borderlands game has been made on the Unreal Engine. This isn't some new studio or a group that suddenly switched over to this. They are one of the few developers who should be able to master the ins and outs of Unreal, as this is a tool that they've essentially built their careers and their franchise upon. Instead, the opposite is true. They've actually delivered the worst performing game of 2025 on an engine that has rued the day of every single new modern hardware release. If you're an individual who isn't willing to use our good buddy AI, whether that be upscaler or frame generation, you can absolutely forget having a high refresh rate experience. To add insults to injury, their head honcho Randy Pitchford, the CEO and founder of Gearbox Entertainment, who essentially created the Borderlands franchise, he probably has the worst attitude that I've ever seen of the head honcho of any game company. Randy Pitchford is responsible for this franchise's resounding success, and it's very clear that he will also be responsible for his colossal failure due to his inability to keep his mouth shut. If you've ever in your life needed an example to prove why there is a need for an existence of a PR or marketing team, you simply need to glance on over to Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford's Twitter and his Twitter responses to understand the need for having a PR guy or lady is absolutely imperative to maintain your public image. If you're a shareholder at 2K, market crashes aren't what scare you, it's whatever belligerence will come from this dude's mouth. I may seem harsh, man, but his comments are considerably condescending and plain disrespectful to the intelligence's consumers and gamers. Let's get started on this, man. Exhibit A. Now, before this entire Borderlands 4 performance debacle began, there was a number of controversy due and coming from Randy Pitchford in regards to the price. This hogwash was in circulation, and his comments regarding this definitely didn't help. Instead, they added fuel to the fire. Now, with Xbox and other popular publishers raising their prices in 2025, there was significant fear that the new Borderlands 4 might follow suit. So then you may wonder, what does Randy say? A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen.
Hey bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
The nerve, the audacity of Randy Pitchford to make such a statement to his loyal customers and loyal Borderlands fanbase. Plain disrespectful, and anybody with some self-respect who had a pre-order revoked that very decision. He doesn't at all try to comfort his loyal fanbase or even try to soften the blow of this brand new price possibility. Instead, he comes to the consumer in which he relies fully upon with an air of entitlement. To put it plainly and simply, Borderlands 4 has had a disastrous release in terms of gameplay performance. And it's such a shame because Borderlands 4 actually seems to be the best Borderlands in quite some time, and in a few years. If you watch some great reviewers, they'll tell you that, hey man, Borderlands actually seems to have picked up their socks and really stepped their game up. You know, I watched Matty's review, I watched IGN's review, and it seems that the content being served is actually quite good. But if the performance is unplayable, then what's the point? In terms of raw performance, the 5090, the most powerful GPU available on the consumer market, is unable to crack 60 frames per second at native 4K at max settings. And with both PlayStation consoles unable to crack 60 FPS consistently, even though they're using egregious levels of upscaling going from 800 and 900p dynamic resolution, it's truly abysmal that Gearbox and anybody really accepted and said, hey, let's publish this game with this performance. If you can't get good performance on the most powerful GPU in the world, the rest of us definitely don't stand a chance. So you may think, what was the CEO's response to these outcries of poor performance? Was it sincerity? Was it an apology? Or maybe was it a promise to work and try their best to improve the performance of the game so everybody, regardless of whatever hardware you're playing on, would be able to enjoy the title? Is that what he said? Randy Pitchford had to say that Borderlands 4 is a premium game made for premium gamers. Just as Borderlands 4 cannot run on PlayStation 4, it cannot be expected to run on too old PC hardware. Oh, and does he stop there? No. Talk about a man with a fragile ego and an inability to accept valid criticism. In response to a disgruntled gamer, he says, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all the support and recommendations and code and architecture from the greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know. And he just keeps going and going and going. My advice to users is to accept reality and tune or not play at all. If you're not 4K stubborn and just want to have a great fun time with high performance, please consider running at 1440p resolution. If you've got a beast of a video card, you're probably fine at 4K, but if you're in the middle or close to min spec, I would definitely recommend making that trade. My goodness. Bro, I didn't spend all this time, energy, attention, blood, sweat and tears getting the money to get a 4K rig just to play at 1440p. Dude, the cheek of this oak here, man. What is he thinking? Why doesn't he put his comments through some sort of PR or marketing team to realize and find out if his comments are suitable for the general public? Because this isn't just image of you, Randy. This is the image of your entire company, and you're making everybody sink or swim. Oh wait, and there's more. Less than 1% of our customers have had valid performance issues. Hardware Unboxed and Digital Foundry benchmark statistics tell a completely different story. If you think this level of performance is acceptable on new and recent hardware, you have a bigger problem. The issue is that the game has not been designed or optimized in a way that is taking into consideration the current hardware on the market. Their focus was clearly just placed on creating the product, but not on compatibility. People enjoy being able to just switch on their PlayStation 5 and get 60 off the bat on their latest games. If you're simply unable to provide what most of your competitors in the space can provide, the issue is very clearly not with the consumer, the issue is with you. I'm honestly dumbfounded that there haven't been more serious ramifications for Randy's ludicrous comments all over Twitter. How has no one from 2K or the higher ups noticed this? Regardless whether Randy was foolishly outspoken or not, the outcome remains the same. The performance for Borderlands 4 is bad and it won't get better anytime soon. Even if they do spend time and energy into patches, we'll probably only get a 10 frame difference all in all. Upscaling is now a mechanic that every game needs in 2025, not an optional additional way to get more frames per second. It's very clear to me that Unreal Engine 5 developers need help. They need to put more time into getting their titles to run better. 3 big Unreal Engine 5 releases this year, and they all play like ass. Metal Gear Solid Delta 3, Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remake, and finally, worst of all, Borderlands 4 with performance that doesn't justify its shell-shaded cartoon art style. Like bro, I got a 7900 GRE last year, and considering the benchmarks and the performance statistics that are coming out for these new Unreal Engine 5 games, it already seems like my card is completely outdated. Like at 4K max settings, it seems I was only getting what, 22 frames per second, maybe less, probably much more less. But hey guys, those are my thoughts on this. I'm honestly just surprised and disappointed in Randy Pitchford and essentially 2K allowing for this hogwash to continue. They really need to put that guy in check, give him a PR and marketing team, and calm him down. They need to put all their efforts not into speaking to the people, but on improving the performance of their video game. Those are my thoughts. My name is Explicit Sage, and I will catch you on the next video. Till next time. Cheers.